Hey everybody, happy to have you back here at home with me this afternoon. It has been like, it was going to storm and then it did a little bit, rained for a while, got wet, had to come in, was gonna do this video, and then the rain has stopped and now it's sunny. It can't make up its mind around here. But if I post a picture of my kitchen on Instagram, I usually get a lot of people asking me questions, private messaging me. And so what I thought I'd do today is give you a little tour and also give you a little backstory on how my kitchen came to be. It's not going to grace the cover of Magnolia or anything, but I love my kitchen. I love my space. It's a happy place for me. I love that I can bring friends in here and sit around the table and have my family gathered at the table and we play games. I have stuff spread all over it. We do our schoolwork in here sometimes. We read books around it. We do crafts around it. It's just a place that we gather and spend time together, and I love it. But when we started out, our kitchen was just a tiny little galley kitchen. I mean, like, seriously tiny. Hardly a place for a table. Definitely not a lot of space for a family that was growing. So over the course of many different opportunities, let's say that, it has grown into what it is now. The first adventure that we took with it is we took the little galley kitchen that went just like this, and I will show you when I show you the tour of how it was in the beginning. It went just like this, and that had everything, like even the washer and dryer, fridge, stove, sink, everything. We made it sort of like an L, and we made this long, slender part off the side and made it come out to where we could put our dining room table. And that worked for a while. And it was nice. And so through that L, well, let me do this. Through that L, we had a back porch that was right outside the door. It walked outside onto a back porch. Fast forward a little longer, the back porch started falling in, and oh goodness, we had some issues, and an opportunity arose, and we turned that back porch into another room. We were able to fix the foundation of that and make that back porch into another room. And then that was going to be a dining room. And then, so we had the back porch, dining room now. And then we had our little galley kitchen still. And then we had the little long dining room area. And then we had on the very end a small room for our laundry room. And that was, it was great. That right here where I'm sitting right now, see that, the trim behind us? That is where a wall was. That was where my kitchen ended a long time ago, because that, like I said, that was a load-bearing wall. That is where it had to be. And then when we took out that entryway to go into that little L spot, it as long as we had the rest of this wall up there, it still stood. So we had this long place over here. We had this room over here. We had a wall between it. And again, we were thankful for the space. It worked. We made that our schoolroom / dining room. We had all of our school books in there. And if you've ever read my blog, which, is a tiny readership, I'm not even like pretending like it's a big thing. It's, it's been around a long time, but anyways, from a long time ago. There's pictures. And that was the way it was for a long time. We had more room and it worked. And this area over here became more of a place sort of like what it is now. It housed some of my kitchenwares. It had my first little apothecary in there. And it was, it was sweet. It was precious. And we enjoyed it that way. Fast forward a few more years. We had a terrible hot water heater explosion and it was on Thanksgiving weekend. So you couldn't get anybody. I mean, like, nobody was around. And it ruined a lot of our kitchen and dining room and everywhere else. And when that started getting fixed, we found mold in the same time. It was just a disaster. So much had to be pulled out of our home and gutted. And thankfully, we had some wonderful people to help us. Family. We had some friends. We had some people that just knew us. I mean, it was a blessing to have so many people come in. Some friends from church, just so many came in and helped during that time, that we were able to do what we have now. As we moved, like right here where I'm sitting at the table, this was where our kitchen sink and cabinets were. We moved them over to where they house now. Now we haven't added any cabinets or anything like that. They're still the same ones that was crammed into this small kitchen prior, but they're in a different spot now, and it makes it look like we have more, even though we don't. But so why do I tell you all this? Why do I give you this rambly story of all the mishaps and trials that we've gone through? This is why. Because every one of those opportunities were hard, and they made me think, oh my gracious, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we would pray and we would seek, and somehow good came out of every single one of those. Even when they were so hard, I mean, like our house was completely gutted at one point. The only place, like everything that we owned pretty much got put in the children's rooms. And so we were trying to live here. We didn't go anywhere else. We lived here and slept here and learned here. We kept homeschooling here. We kept eating here. I mean, there was a time where we had to crock pot it or drive through it for a little while. It was not good, but that's where we were because we had to. Everything was gone. And we use the grill too sometimes, but all those instances brought about something beautiful in the end. It was hard. It was laborious. It was like never felt like it was going to ever end. And now I have a kitchen that I absolutely adore. I love it. It works. I call it a working kitchen because I work in this kitchen. I love making our meals. I love canning our vegetables and making jam and coming up with recipes and planting starts and just everything. I sit down here, I drink my coffee, I do my devotions. I sit here, I pull out recipe books and plan meals. I sit out here and write down my dreams. We sit here and we have our meals, and then we have our family worship. It's this space would never be here if it had not have been those hardships that we went through before. So I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're going through in your home or in your life. I've been reminded as we've been hatching off these little chicks that, there's hardships that we all go through. And, we can deal with those, and we can either come out, triumphantly at the end, or we can come out bitter and broken. I want to always come out triumphant. I want to encourage others to do that as well. I don't always do that. I'll be straight up honest with you. I don't. But I want to be a person that does. I want to be able to come out stronger and help others do the same. So maybe that's why this whole little story, came about in this video today. I was going to do some outside things with you, but the weather has went back and forth all day. One good thing before the weather started raining and then sunning is I got to meet a longtime internet friend of mine this morning. She came up with her sweet family, so that was a bright spot in the morning. She brought me some tomatoes and some honey from their bees, so that was really nice. I enjoyed meeting them for the first time. And, it's a process that we all go through. What I was saying about the chicks, sorry, I just jumped rabbit trailed again. What I was saying about the chicks is I wanted so bad to help them, to push them out. But you know what would have happened if I pushed them out? They wouldn't have made it. I couldn't do it for them, because the process of them breaking through that shell, they gain strength. It takes time, because they have to exert just so much energy at a time until they can finally break loose. Because if I helped them out, some of the things that need to happen while they're hatching would not happen. There was a butterfly that was what was thought was stuck inside its cocoon. A well-meaner took the butterfly and kind of pressed it on out, kind of pulled it out and pulled back that cocoon and let it out. Well, what happened is it did not fully process, because it needed that pressure, and it needed that bit of struggle to rid itself of the things that didn't need to come out with it to be that butterfly. There's so many opportunities that we have when we're going through a struggle or a trial to come out better on the other side, if we just will. So I hope that this is helpful to you. I don't know. It may just be another one of those rambly things that I've done. But I'd like to show you the kitchen now. And my email address is in the description, or in the About column of my YouTube channel. If you like to talk to me, or if I can be a help to you or an encouragement to you, feel free to write me. I will do my best to answer if I get it and it doesn't go into spam. I'll check my spam too. I just, I don't know why I was led to do this, besides the encouragement of others. I hope that I can bring some light and some help and some encouragement to those around me and those who may not even be close by. But I'd like to show you the kitchen now. I started to do a real deep clean everything down before I started the video. But then I thought, you know what? I'm supposed to be talking to a friend, and a friend is not always going to drop by when everything is perfect. So here you go, imperfect and all. You'll see some of the dirty spots in the floor. You'll see some cobwebs, I'm sure. There's no telling what you might find. There's some dirty dishes over there in the kitchen sink, but this is it. This is as soon as you walk into the left. Now this is where, like I was telling you before, this was the end of my kitchen, okay? This was the wall. Now right there where that trim is, that's where that window sat, all right? And then we went all the way, follow that line all the way. Now that canning pantry wasn't there. This door wasn't there. We stopped right here at the fridge, okay? Right here. So I'm gonna back up so you can see it. Remember, all that wasn't there. We stopped there, and we had the fridge, the oven, that little counter space there. Then right here where the table was, but see where the line is right there? On this side of it was the cabinets, was the sink, was right here, set our little kitchen table. This is the galley kitchen to begin with, okay? And this part right here, without these shelves or without any of all this was the L part that we added on to later on. So these are my shelves. One of my favorite things in my kitchen. I'm gonna back up and show them to you. Now there's a lot of stuff there, but when we opened everything up, I had a lot of stuff already. This was most of the stuff I had. I just didn't have anywhere to put it. And so everything was crammed, and we looked into buying some shelves or some cabinets that matched. Outrageous, absolutely outrageous. And we're a very small income, one income family. So it's not something that we could just do is go buy thousands of dollars of cabinets. So these open shelves were perfect for us. It gave me lots of space. It makes me keep them somewhat tidy. You know, there you can see there's some tidying that needs to be done now. But it forces me to make sure things are taken care of. And that's not a bad thing at all. I don't have a lot of drawers, so I keep my spoons and forks here. I keep my napkins here. If we buy bread or bagels or whatever, they're there. We've got some fruit. I was gonna make some zucchini bread. Like I said, I didn't straighten up. It's just what is. There's our scrap bucket for compost or for Billy Joe. And then, you know, some of my kitchenware. These are herbs and different things up here on top that I use, spices, cookbooks, mixing bowls, things like that. Over here is my apothecary, and I keep my essential oils there. I keep my diffuser. I keep my soap making supplies in this cabinet. Right here's my little coffee section, where the all important coffee is made. Over here, I've got a pitiful little plant that needs some help, and maybe I can revive it. Like I said, some dirty dishes. But here's my view out of the window, and I can see the chickens. Let's raise this a little bit. And I can see the chickens, and I can see the bird feeder that's leaning over a little too far, and the hummingbirds and my grapevine. And then I can look out this way a little bit and see different things that way. Hopefully there'll be some pigs out there soon. This cabinet here houses a lot of our like store-bought, you know, canned goods and whatnot. I keep my dish rags, actually not dish rags, my dish towels over there. Over there in the corner is our trash bags, our trash, our garbage can. And then our cleaning stuff is there. And there's the laundry room. And I'm not showing you that because it's way messy because muck has been in the house lately. And here's the canning pantry that needs a good cleaning up. But I have some dried goods up here on top. I bought some excess sugar because I knew I was making jam and we were in quarantine. I have, you know, different things that I've canned, empty jars. In this right here, I keep some buckets, like with grain, and I'm not gonna open that because it's, well, I told you I was gonna just treat you like I would, so I guess I will. It's messy, but you see I've got buckets of stuff. I've got some jars, the hot water heater's in there. So then over here's like, you know, some paper products, some vinegar, a kombucha, SCOBY. Here's the fridge, because we've had a fridge, we've had an invisible fence for muck, and we've had a washer all go down within 2 weeks. All of it. Yeah, this is just the way things go sometimes. I put in this a while back just for extra storage, and I keep like some tea and some supplement stuff, salt and pepper, salt here, pepper there, some spices that I use on a regular basis are there. Up here I have my knives to keep away from little hands and keep handy for me. Thermometer, graters. Over there, again, we're back at the buffet that has lots of plants on it right now that cannot go outside because it's too wet. So they're there. But there's our kitchen. I was going to tell you also, this is how we have the opportunity to have the space open. From all the way up there on that side to all the way up there on this side is an iron beam. I mean, like a beam. It took, I can't tell you how many men in here lifting that thing and putting that thing up to open this room up. We had jacks up holding the walls up until we got that in place. I have a video of it somewhere, I think on an old phone or something, and I remember trying to video it, but at the same time wanting to close my eyes because I was terrified because it was so... So I'm finishing the post about the kitchen out here. I had to come out and do some chores, but I hope you enjoyed seeing the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed the little spiel about how everything came to be. And if you're going through some adversity right now, even though I know it's very, very difficult, try your best to focus on the good that can come out of it. When I was going through the things I was going through with all the trials of the house being in shambles and such problems, I just did not think that there was going to be a lot of good come from it, but there was. And lots of beauty came, in the end. So don't be discouraged. Keep looking up and keep being thankful, because there are people praying for what you have right now, even if it's not much, even if it's what others may think is little. We are very, very blessed, and we want to be thankful for what we do have. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to coming back with you and spending some more time here with me at home.